We featured a lot of apps across the season. David, what app, though, at the moment, are you using more than any other?
At the moment, it has to be the ManyThing app that you guys featured on the show, privacy and security. Turn an old phone into a CCTV camera. Brilliant.
Brilliant. What about yourself, Lucy?
Well, I'm trying to keep fit at the minute, so I've got a lot of fitness apps, and I'm mainly using OneKeeper. Very handy.
Gotcha, very good. Well, we featured a lot of apps across the season. Here are some that I feel, though, have gone that extra mile. Oh, fitness gag in the house.
Many apps come and go, mainly ones which don't do anything other than annoy people or cost a fortune to keep updating. So as before, I've compiled a list of some particularly fun ones which shouldn't break the bank too much. And here comes the Top of the Pops countdown voice guy like a hurricane at 5! Earlier on in the season, we looked at some of the incredible photo apps which are readily available, touching on the popular likes of Instagram. But one which really stood out to me was the online photo album to rule them all, Flickr. 85 million users, a free terabyte of picture storage space, and a car boot full of available filters to make those hangover-style photos that time forgot look even sharper for your children to enjoy in years to come. Additionally, you can nosy park your way into the lives of others with Flickr sharing options and bonus editing techniques which can be applied to your pics using Flickr Studio. At 4. We all read the news on a daily basis, whether it be in newspapers, morning breakfast telly, or your Facebook feed. One great app I happened upon earlier in the series was Newsy, the bulletin board offering multiple breaking story coverage from different reports across the globe. Videos and articles can be linked to your Twitter and FaceCB accounts, which you can post to improve your influence rating online. Newsy gives you the opportunity to source every detail and draw your own conclusions. Power to the people, my friends. At 3. Going on holiday is better than spending time with 73% of your friends. Fact. We've all begun packing, tied up loose ends, and printed off the several thousand documents needed to travel, but mishaps happen. Not with TripIt, the master itinerary app. Simply by saving ticket info, rental car documents, hotel and dining reservations in your TripIt folder, you'll be able to travel with a total peace of mind. Lovely little additions such as utilizing your smartphone calendar to bring up reminders, and the inclusion of map and local weather information make it the essential download when it comes to holiday planning time. At 2. The world will never get tired of the undead wreaking havoc. Until they actually do, and their smelly faces become boring real quick. But until then, they're taking over our TV screens, video games, and now, fitness apps. 'Tis true. Zombies Run is ridiculously silly, but actually really good fun, and it inspires you to leg it that extra mile when it comes to working on the cardio. In its most basic form, it's audio commentary and voice recordings which tell you to get out of there pronto because imaginary walkers are coming. At number 1, it's kind of a tie. During the season's music episode, I uncovered two beauties in the form of Figure by Propellerhead and Nightjar. The former is one of the best beat-creating apps I've seen to date, what with the awesome drums, bass and synth features, and an amazingly easy-to-use interface, which even a mole could find its way around. Nightjar, on the other hand, is a truly unique experience which combines Benedict Cumberbatch, a ship adrift in space, and lots of ambient noise. The recipe for an incredibly immersive adventure.
Now, earlier on this season, you flew a biplane, didn't you?
Yes, I was testing the world's first wearable smart camera and spent quite a lot of the show's budget in the process.
Now, when you say quite a lot of the show's money, you mean all of the show's money. Lucy and I are living on the streets, you haven't paid in 7 weeks, so...
But it was totally worth it, right?
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you missed it earlier on this season, here's David flying a biplane, spending all of our money.
If there are two things in consumer technology that are really exciting right now, it's smart technology, smartphones, smart glasses, and wearable technology, fitness bands and watches and so on. Now, the autographer from OMG embraces both of these trends because it's a smart wearable camera, the world's first, in fact. I've come to an airstrip in the beautiful Kent countryside to find out more. I'm as bad at this as anybody else. You see, I love photos, and if I'm on a day out with a family or a night out with my friends, I'll be the one with a camera or the phone out taking the pictures. The thing is, after a while, that does get to be a bit of a bore. That's where this little fella comes in. The autographer takes photos so you don't have to. There are 5 sensors in here plus GPS, which means its manufacturers claim it knows when to take the photos for you. You just turn it on, clip it on, and off you go. This will take care of the rest, leaving you free to enjoy the rest of your day. Speaking of which, I am at an airfield. Let's see how this bad boy flies. So here I am, I've just been strapped into a Boeing Stim, and it's a 1943 biplane in a very tasteful shade of red. Now there are 6 different autographers all strapped to different parts of this plane that are going to take photos automatically when something interesting is happening. I can't wait. Unfortunately, our onboard microphone gave up at 3,000 feet, but what I was trying to explain was how the autographer's sensors detect light, colour and temperature, as well as direction, movement and speed. And trust me, there was a lot of that going on as pilot Sam pulled 4 loop-the-loops over the Battle of Britain monument. The autographer also features GPS, which lets you know where on Earth you were when it took the shot, something I wasn't at all sure of when we came into land. Here we are, just about recovered. So we've got all of these shots here on the autographer. Now it's a question of getting them off here. Smartphone apps, there's iOS and Android. Sync it up over Bluetooth. You can review, tag or share them. So I'm going to sync it up over USB to my laptop. And once they're on here, you can do some pretty cool things. You can go through and select the ones you like in the stream mode here. But one of my favorite things is the stop motion animations that you can create. So just by pressing play here, all of a sudden my trip in the Stearman comes flooding back to me. This is one of my favourite ways to look at the photos that it's taken during the course of the day. You can change the number of frames per second, and you can export this as a YouTube movie and share it with your social media buddies.
Earlier on this season, David, you spent a lot of time in the sky. Lucy, you for one have spent a lot of time on the loo, haven't you?
I have. But explain that first.
I should explain this. Can we roll a VT, please? Here's Lucy on the toilet.
To most, a toilet is just a toilet, an essential fixture that serves its purpose when nature calls or makes for a great place to check Facebook without interruption. But since its inception over 100 years ago, the porcelain throne has remained largely unchanged. Before that, most folks did their business in one of 2 ways, in a hole in the ground or in a chamber pot, often concealed in a commode. And that's pretty much the tale of the toilet in the West. But in the Far East, it's a different story. There, they are crazy about them. So I'm paying a visit to Toto, the purveyors of high-tech Japanese bathroom furniture, to lift the lid, quite literally, on how technology is revolutionising the humble toilet. Japanese company Toto have been around for almost 100 years, but they're not just concerned with creating a truly modern lavatory experience. They also specialise in other intelligent bathroom features too. Now this is the SE bath. This is no ordinary bath. So using these buttons underneath here, I can do this. Bubbles! So that's quite cool. I'm gonna turn that off. The final piece of this bath, the piece de resistance as I like to call it, is the discotheque feature. Now that's not its official name, it's the name that I've given it. I can browse through blues and oranges. You've basically got a disco in your bath. Chuck in a speaker and you've got a full-on party in the bathroom. So POTA have been described as the Apple of toilet tech, so naturally it makes sense to talk to an expert in high-tech toilets. That's where Floyd Case comes in. Floyd, hello, how are you?
Hi Lucy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Oh, hello. Okay, I feel like I'm in a bit of a haunted house. Please explain to me what on earth I'm looking at. It's not just an ordinary toilet, is it?
No, this is a very special toilet. This is what we call a washlet. And this type of device has been around in Japan for about 35 years.
Yeah.
And let me show you how it works.
Please do.
If I pretend I'm sitting down, so if I hold the seat, and you grab the remote control.
Grabbing the remote.
It is remote controllable.
Yep.
If I ask you to press the rear button, and you'll notice that there's a little wand that will first wash itself, and it's going to come out.
Oh
and it's
yeah,
going to
out
wash
comes
you.
the wand.
Exactly. So there you have an invigorating wash.
It's moving up and down, it's oscillating. So how do people react for the first time when they see that nozzle come out of the back of the toilet? Because I'm not going to lie, it looks a little bit petrifying. I imagine first contact with it is a little bit scary.
You normally don't see it at first, you feel it. But when you feel it, it's a different sensation. But normally I'd say you have to try it once or twice to get used to it. And then once you do, you never look back, as I say.
So humans have been devising creative ways to spend a penny since Adam and Eve first crossed their legs. But if these high-tech toilet makers are anything to go by, we'll soon be saying see ya to the bog standard loo.
Well, sadly, guys, that's it. That is the end of this series of Planet of the Apps. It's been a pleasure having you with us, and we've really enjoyed ourselves talking about all the latest in apps and mobile gadgets. Do make sure to stay in touch with us on Twitter and Facebook. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching this series of Planet of the Apps. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.